If you've ever finished a trail run with aching ankles, sore feet, or tired legs, especially after longer or more technical runs, there's a good chance the trail shoes that you're wearing simply don't match the terrain that you run on. In this video, I'm breaking down the best trail running shoes of 2026 by the categories that actually matter on the trail. The best road to trail shoe, the most stable option, the most comfortable shoe, the best wide toe box, and the best all-round trail shoe. So the best road to trail shoe goes to the Brooks Catamount 4. If your runs regularly start on pavement and then move on to gravel and trail, the Catamount 4 from Brooks is a very strong option. The biggest advantage here is how natural the transition from road to trail feels. It doesn't feel harsh or awkward on tarmac, and it doesn't feel unstable once you move on to dirt or compact trail. The midsole feels relatively lively and efficient, it's not a soft cruiser, and it feels like a lightweight performance shoe that happens to work on trail. That makes it a really good option for steady efforts, moderate pace runs, or faster mixed surface routes. The outsole is another strong point. It gives you enough grip for dry trails, gravel and light technical sections, without using very aggressive lugs that make road running uncomfortable. The downside becomes obvious when conditions deteriorate. In mud, wet rock, or steep technical terrain, the grip simply isn't aggressive enough. This is genuinely a mountain to trail shoe, not a mountain only shoe. Now before I show you the rest of the category winners, there's one very common mistake I see trail runners make when they're buying shoes. This is that they buy something that feels really comfortable in the shop, but doesn't actually control or protect the foot when terrain becomes uneven, cambered, or technical. Trail running isn't just about running on dirt. You're constantly landing on slopes, roots, rocks, and off-camber surfaces. So what feels soft and forgiving underfoot can actually become unstable and fatiguing when you're on rough ground for longer periods of time. And on the other side of the spectrum, low-profile minimalist trail shoes can feel precise and fast, but for a lot of runners they simply don't offer enough protection, especially for longer, more demanding trail runs. So what actually makes a good trail shoe? There are four main things I look for before I recommend them. The first is stable cushioning. Not just soft cushioning, but cushioning that stays stable and controlled when you land on uneven surfaces. Second is platform and sidewall stability. A slightly broader base and some structure to the midsole can significantly reduce ankle and midfoot fatigue. Third is traction that actually matches the terrain that you're running on. There's a huge difference between dry forest paths and wet, rocky mountain trails. And finally, fit. Not just length, but how much room you have in the forefoot and how secure you feel in the midfoot and the heel. That difference becomes more noticeable the longer that you're on the trail. With that in mind, let's move on to the rest of the category winners. For pure stability and confidence on rocky terrain, it's hard to beat the HOKA Stinson 7. The biggest strength of this shoe is the size of its platform. It's very wide and stable underfoot, which immediately makes you feel planted on cambered trails and uneven roads. The wide platform is especially helpful for people who struggle with ankle stability. The second major benefit of this shoe is the amount of protection that you get underneath your foot. The cushioning is thick and very forgiving, which works well for longer trails, heavier runners, or for people who simply get beaten up by firmer trail shoes. The upper is clearly built for long run trail comfort. It's supportive, padded and secure, without feeling overly tight around the forefoot, which is what we see in a lot of HOKA shoes like the HOKA Speedgoat 6. Where the Stinson struggles is with agility. It's a big shoe, it's heavy, and once the trail becomes narrow, twisty or very technical, it feels bulky and slow to change direction. This is a confidence and protection shoe, not a fast trail shoe. If comfort is your priority, then it's really hard to beat the new Balance Hierro V9. The biggest reason I chose this is because of the underfoot feel. The cushioning is soft and very forgiving, which makes it a really good option for longer, easier trail runs and recovery style sessions. It absorbs impact really well, especially on harder packed trails and longer descents. Another big positive is how smooth the ride feels. You don't get a harsh transition through the midsole, and it's very easy to settle into a steady rhythm. The upper is also genuinely comfortable for long runs. It accommodates foot swelling nicely and doesn't create pressure points on top of the foot. However, where the Hierro starts to fall behind is control. Once the trail becomes rocky, narrow or very technical, the shoe doesn't feel as precise or as locked in as some other shoe models. It's built to keep you comfortable, not to attack technical. And if you struggle with narrow trail shoes, well then the Topo MTN Racer 4 has got you covered. The main reason for this is its anatomical toe box, which is one of the best on the market. Your toes spread naturally rather than being squashed together, which makes a big difference for comfort, especially on those longer trail routes. This is especially helpful if you regularly experience forefoot discomfort. hot spots or toe pressure during longer sessions. And what's really important is that the shoe doesn't feel sloppy, just because the forefoot is wide. The midfoot and heel lockdown are very secure, so you still get a good lockdown even when the trail becomes more technical and uneven. The cushioning is also very well balanced. It gives you enough protection underfoot without making the platform feel unstable or overly soft. The downside for some people can be the lower drop. It's got a 5mm drop, which can place extra pressure on your Achilles or increase the amount of demand placed on your calf muscles. For some runners, that adjustment period may be important to be gradually managed. However, if I had to recommend one trail shoe to the general public, that would be the ASICS Trabuco 14. Its biggest strength overall is its hybrid nature. It works well for easy trail runs, long steady runs, and mixed terrain without feeling genuinely out of place. The cushioning is protective without being overly soft, so you don't sink into it, and you definitely don't feel unstable when you land on uneven surfaces. And one of the most amazing aspects of it is thanks to the new cushioning, you feel really secure despite the shoe being an overall neutral trail shoe. You get a good midsole, great sidewall support, a fun, bouncy and energetic cushioning in the FF Blast Max cushioning, a rock plate in the forefoot for protection, an excellent fit in the toe box, so there's plenty of space in there, and it's got an exceptional lockdown in the midfoot and the heel. So it's a bit more responsive, bouncy and energetic than what we saw in the Topo MTN Racer 4, but it's also more of a hybrid, so it can be used as a hiking shoe and as a running shoe. And with that in mind, one of its downsides is that it's definitely not a racing shoe. It is very versatile, hiking, easy runs, longer runs, some of those up-tempo workouts thanks to the new midsole, but it's a little bit too heavy still to use for those faster, shorter races. So to summarize, the best road to trail shoe, the Brooks Catamount 4. The best stability option, HOKA Stinson 7. The most comfortable, the new Balance Hierro V9. Best white toe box is the Topo MTN Racer 4, and our overall recommendation is the ASICS Trabuco 14. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, we've got links to the shoes in the description if you want to check out the latest price on Amazon, as they're changing all the time. And if you're new to the channel, liking, sharing, subscribing is always appreciated. Thank you very much for watching.